happy birthmark on the tongue of a lark. It's been long overdue since I spit in your shoe. So please won't you pardon me for a while I snack on your style.
Same thing happens every day. I can't think of nothing to say. I make you sit down and try to relax before I fall through the cracks. Ooh, my mind is racing so slow, and I got somewhere to go. There has to be someone, somewhere who knows what to say.
I do believe that was my cue. Huh. Happy birthmark. I was right on the mark. Huh. You didn't hear what I say, 'cause you've been napping all day. This was a terrible song until I came along.
Same thing happens every day. Can't think of nothing clever to say. You need to sit down and try to relax while he lays down his tracks. Ooh, your mind is racing so slow, and you got somewhere to go. You have to find someone, somewhere who knows what to say.
And I was enjoying that nap.
Ooh, my mind is racing so slow, and I got nowhere to go. There has to be someone, somewhere who knows what to say.
Adolf Dessler. I think I smell somebody's feet. This mix can't be beat. Adidas in heat. Ha! Ho! Ha!
Well, hey YouTube, Petey Two Finger here. I had just uploaded the video from the Smarties contest. That was my daughter's winning entry. I did a duo with her. So this was Adrian Ballou's Elephant blog, something he did up until 2013. And I'm going to read the contest rules. If fall gets your creative fire pit stoked, as it does mine, you're ready for our Smarty songwriting contest. Here's the object. Complete any of our unfinished songs that we've been releasing as downloads. So there was 3 demo songs that Ballou uploaded that didn't have vocals on them. Complete these unfinished songs by adding your own melody, vocal, and or words. Then send your completed masterpiece to webmaster Rob Murphy. Please send MP3s or CDs, and entries will be based on creativity. So feel free to add whatever you want. Keep in mind, it's not a shredding contest, but a creative assignment. There will be 3 judges, including yours truly. Entries must be sent to Rob by December 31st, and the winner will be announced January 10th. The winner will be awarded an original Adrian painting worth 6 cents. And the winning masterpiece will be a free download for all of the other Smarties to ignore or enjoy. So of course I was thrilled to be entering this thing. I grabbed 3 songs, wrote some lyrics. One of them was the Spies, where I had my daughter sing the high part, and I did a real low backup vocal. Our daughter had sang in choir and sang in the family band, but she doesn't have it. One of those, like, I don't know, young girls that sing, you hear that a lot now. They like train their voices to sound like R&B. She just has like a standard, like, young girl voice. And you can check that video out. That's the first Smarty contest, the one that actually won. But this video, we're here to talk about my entry, the one that was just right off the bat, didn't even make it. But I really love that song. And there's a long story behind it. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to read the lyrics today. Basically, the first time I met Adrian Belew, it's a long story. My wife had gotten his phone number and then found his address. He was listed, and she used some reverse lookup and was like, yeah, he lives not too far from where we live. And I was invited to go to a co-worker's farm to hang out. So we get up there on this Saturday, and he's just feeding me beer all day. I'm drinking beer, no food. And then we left. Of course, my wife's driving. She's not irresponsible truck driving. So I'm like, let's go find Belew. So we found his house. It turns out he had moved. It was he had a Victorian mansion, and there's like in through the window I'm seeing oil pastel paintings and like the cover of one of his albums. I'm like, this has got to be his house. So we went around back to see if we could grab a souvenir, like a magazine with his address, to have that. And there was a 3-foot high dumpster in the back full of stuff that he was going through. He was moving. And my wife grabbed a piece of homework from kindergarten and said Iris. Iris, like a little kid's handwriting. Anyway, people knew that Adrian had a daughter named Audie. She appeared in this video called Oh Daddy, and I think he mentioned having another kid, Steve or Ernie. So maybe he had talked about, but I know he had never talked about this Iris. She was little. So we end up finding out from a neighbor that he's in the next town around the lake. So we drive up there, and there's a cop. No, I went into the bar, I asked them, everyone said no. Some skateboard kids, no, we don't know who you're talking about. So I asked this cop, I'm like, he's got a ponytail, he plays guitar. I'm like, I used to play bass for this guy, I owe him money, I'm totally lying. He's like, well, there was this one guy, he had a gold record on his wall from Paul Simon. I'm like, bingo! So he goes, follow me, and he turns around and drives like a half a block, and we were there. I was looking at his house. There's an old fat Cadillac with big fins in the back, so we go up and knock. Martha, his wife, answers and lets us in. And then I'm like, holy cow, like, I can't believe it. Here he is eating corn on the cob with a Coke in his slippers. And his kids are all there, and I'm like, totally invaded his house. So I felt awful about it. I'm fast talking. And I like rapped on the cymbal. I played one of the piano keys, Howard is grand, and then I strummed on his dobro. I'm like, I'm gonna tell all my friends I played all your instruments. He was just like, get out. Just giving me the stink eye the whole time. And I'm like I'm on Johnny Carson, like I couldn't stop talking. I was so excited. So yeah, I played his dobro. I'm like, that's the same tuning as, and he's like, 1967. It's D-A-D, D-A-D, by the way. So I'm like, sometime we're gonna make music together. I'm like, it's, and he's just like, dream on, buddy. Anyway, through this Smarties contest, that ended up happening. So I wanted to thank Belew. It was really a lot of fun to do it. And I'm really proud that my daughter was able to take third. It was cool. It was really cool. So as time went on, I had recorded this, I had come up with this persona of Petey Two Finger because I'm missing fingers. I was playing in a cover band and I wasn't happy, so I wrote this song called Introduction. And in that song, I used a tape machine to lower my voice. So I'm like, let me introduce myself. The name is Petey Two Finger. And all the stuff about how great I am or whatever. It was like I quit the band and, we only seemed to have one fan, and that was our singer, Dan. Like, and I'm like, it didn't even take me that long now that I'm off the bong. And then you hear like a big bong rep. And then the solo kicks in and it's backwards box. I'm using the same reverse delay that Belew used. And I pulled out all the stops on the solo. And I ended up, it's a funny piece of music. It really is. When I played that for people, everyone always really liked that song. So Adrian gets a copy of it. And he's like, he didn't want to take it. I'm like, look, I'm not trying to get signed. This isn't about me getting produced. This is just totally for fun. I aped some of your tones in it. I used some of the same gear, and I think you'd get a kick out of it. So he said, okay, he took it. And I mean, I've seen him throw people's discs away. People that came up that were like, yeah, I play a synth, a guitar synth. I've got racks full of gear. And then he said, okay, yeah. And then a whole press kit. And I took it. And we checked it out, and it was horrible. Anyway, Fripp's staying at his house. They put out a King Crimson album. This is just right after that. And the first song on Construction of Light is called Prozac Blues. And he's lowered his voice. He's like, well, I woke up this morning. I'm just like, and then right before the lead, he says, pass me that bong over here and I'll sing you a real song. And Fripp comes in with this solo. And I'm just like, I'm looking on the album for special thanks to Petey Two Finger. And there's nothing there. So I called my wife. I'm like, I think that they're answering me. Like, you know, Helter Skelter. Like, man, it's like every crazy fan thinks. So that was my thing. You can check out the song Introduction. It's on this channel. I guess I'll put it in the link. I only used that trick one other time where I lower my voice, but Baloo's used it 3 times. And he never used it before I gave him a copy of that. He never did that. He did a voice when he was with Zappa. He did a Dylan impersonation, but pretty much he's always used his high angelic voice that Baloo has. And I just thought, well, the next song that he came out with after Prozac Blues was called Incompetence and Indifference, which was really a jab. So when I got this opportunity to write the Smarties contest, I knew I was going to utilize the Petey Two Finger low voice, and I was going to let him have it. I wasn't going to be nice. So let's take a listen to the winner of the Smarties contest. I'm going to pop over and we'll check out Lou Luca, his Happy Guy. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm looking at the blog. We see the picture that you could win. It's a painting. Adrian Belew is a talented painter. All of his paintings they're amazing. Like, the guy has never released a bad piece of music in his life. And he's also a painter, and I gotta be honest here, he's got one stink bomb painting, and that's this one that he's given away in this contest. And I really hope he doesn't watch this and take offense. I know how thin-skinned I am as an artist. I'm not so hot on I would hope that this Adidas in Heat was his first whack. Now, that's not to say that if we had taken first in the Smarties contest, you know that sucker would be golden framed with lights all over it, right up here. Anyway, take a look at this painting. You'll see what I'm talking about. Adidas in Heat, which is a song off of his Lone Rhinoceros, his first solo album. It's a great song. You should check that one out, Adidas in Heat. I really like that tune. So just not so hot on the painting. So reading from here, he said, yeah, they couldn't come to a winner. The judges were like, we love all 3. He's like, what do you want me to do? Cut the painting in thirds? So eventually he says he wanted to thank everyone and congratulate everyone who made an effort. And he says, keep in mind that doing of the thing is the reward. If I didn't believe that, I may have quit long ago, which thank God he didn't, because he's the most inspirational artist. I absolutely adore everything that guy ever did, except for this painting. So that being said, the winner was a guy, Lou Luca, who's talented. I mean, I'm not talented. I got to work really hard to be able to fake it. I've got this thing with the lawnmower. I'm missing these finger tops, and I play with 2. And I know everyone goes, well, Django Reinhardt. Django Reinhardt had these 2, and I would sell my left finger to get this one back, because having a pinky instead of this big one over here, big difference. So now we're going to skip over and check out Lou Luca's winning entry, the winner of the Smarties contest, the extremely talented, lovely vocalist Lou Luca with his Happy Guy.
So I had to try the other side. That's enough to be a happy guy. That's enough to make you want to smile. It's not impossible, it seems to be the happy guy. It's not responsible to be the sorry guy. And now the world seems fine. Don't need to change your mind.
The lovely vibrato. Going back to Elephant Blog, there's a comment on here. This guy, he says, Mr. Craig, he says, so far, 3rd place is my favorite, after mine, of course. I did not know you could create lyrics to fit Spies. But they did. Ha ha. Take that, Luca. We were robbed. I'd like to say thanks for giving us the opportunity for our work to be recognized. Thanks to Rob for the great compliment. He said that his entry had some George Harrison style twang in it, which I never got to. I really wish we would have been able to hear them all. I really wish we would have. It was so cool. I don't want to put this up and be like, Adrian did everything wrong. I'm angry. I'm not. I'm totally over that thing with the song where I gave him the demo. It probably it's all in my head. It's just a coincidence. You tell me. You know, down out, down out, down out, down out. They're different, but they're kind of the same. If you listen to it, it's like King Crimson is doing this real basic. I did this basic song, and then Crimson does their treatment of it. So in Petey Two Fingers' head, yes, that's a reality. In my mind, I could care less. And like I said, I did kind of feel a little bit sore about it at the time, especially when I was writing these lyrics. And I knew right away when I heard about the Smarties contest, I was going to use that voice. So I wanted to quickly reiterate the timeline. I record this song where I lower my voice and say, "It didn't even take me that long now that I'm off the bong." And I hit a bong rip and then go into the solo, which is a backwards solo. I give that CD to Blue. The next thing that comes out a couple months later is King Crimson Construction of Light with the song Prozac Blues. And it's similar to the song I had, but it's much more complicated. It's like I wrote this really basic thing and then King Crimson did an interpretation that's much more complex, but it's similar. And then he's got the lowered voice. "Well, I woke up this morning," and right before the lead, he says, "Pass that bong over here and I'll sing you a real song." And then in the live DVD in Japan, he says, "Play it for me, Spider Fingers." He's calling him Spidey Fingers. I don't know. It's like, am I crazy? Like, Petey Two Finger believes that this all happened and that this music may have inspired Fripp or Baloo to do this. Me, I think, no, probably not. I'm just making it up. I'm imagining things. Then this other song comes out called Incompetence and Indifference. And it's just about kind of janky people, like people that don't consider other people. So, and he uses the same lowered voice. So here I am, the guy that came and knocked on his door and invaded his family and made him feel unsafe in his home. So I'm like, is this guy like, I don't know. You tell me. Listen to King Crimson, Prozac Blues. Listen to Petey Two Finger. Introduction is the name of the song. Listen to Adrian Blue's Incompetence and Indifference. It's interesting. So all I know was when the Smarties contest came around, I was ready to get back into character. Petey Two Finger, do that trick with my voice, and that's what I did. So I'm going to read you the lyrics to Happy Birthmark. First, I want to talk about this vocal or this lyrical style that Baloo uses. It started off in a song off of 1988's Mr. Music Head album. There's a song called Bird in a Box, and he says, "I'm not a free lunchbox car parked in the seat. Dead end streetcar of desire caught by the tailpiece. I'm in Jiffy Pop Tarts are bad for your teen-aged beef. Well, there's a Mandolindo Evans talking on the phone. Call a Porter Wagoner tailor-made underwear. Every dog has his Dayton, Ohio Hitler. Says a button your fly, Tijuana place a bet, Midler." And that is just so cool. There's another one, "The World's My Oyster Soup Kitchen Floor Wax Museum," and that's a King Crimson song. "Hat, bandana, graham cracker, jackhammer in a nail file suit, your self-service man. The World's My Oyster Soup Kitchen Floor Wax Museum. Autograph pictures of Shakespeare fishing. Gear, head, phone, Madison Square Garden hose. The World's My Oyster Soup Kitchen Floor Wax Museum." So, yeah, that explains the Happy Birthmark. in character as Petey Two Finger. Happy birthmark on the tongue of a lark. Now, lark's tongue in aspic is an old King Crimson instrumental. So you have happy birthmark on the tongue of a lark. It's been long overdue since I spit in your shoe. So please won't you pardon me for a while I snack on your style. And then we go into the chorus where I use a high harmony, kind of Beach Boys-ish. And the lyric is, same thing happens every day. I can't think of nothing to say. I need to sit down and try to relax before I fall through the cracks. Ooh, my mind is racing so slow, and I've got somewhere to go. There has to be someone, somewhere, who knows what to say. And that's me, like, you couldn't write lyrics for this excellent piece of music. Like, it's kind of a jab. And we return to the Petey Two Finger low, dropped octave voice. There has to be someone who knows what to say, and Petey comes back. I do believe that was my cue. Ha! Happy birthmark. I was right on the mark. Huh! You didn't hear what I say, 'cause you've been napping all day. This was a terrible song until I came along. Back to the high vocal harmony chorus. Same thing happens every day. I can't think of nothing clever to say. You need to sit down. Happy birthmark on the tongue of a lark. Lark's tongue is an aspic is a King Crimson instrumental. So, happy birthmark on the tongue of a lark. It's been long overdue since I spit in your shoe. So please won't you pardon me for a while I snack on your style. Then we go into a high harmony vocal chorus. I come out of character and I'm singing from a different perspective. Same thing happens every day. I can't think of nothing to say. I need to sit down and try to relax before I fall through the cracks. Whew, my mind is racing so slow, and I got somewhere to go. There has to be someone, somewhere, who knows what to say. And that's kind of a jab because he couldn't write lyrics to these songs, and he had changed his style. He started doing instrumentals. He stopped writing these. Because I loved his lyrics. And I wasn't so thrilled when he did the sides. Anyway, sides were a series of albums I didn't care for as much as the other stuff. I felt that he went in a King Crimson direction, and I really love his solo stuff, so. But what came out of that was like E for Orchestra, the show he did at the Metropole Orchestra, which was incredible. So I can't really be critical. I just wasn't ready for it. Back to the lyrics. There has to be someone, somewhere, who knows what to say. And we return to the Petey Two Finger character, who says, in reply, I do believe that was my cue. Ha! Happy birthmark. I was right on the mark. Huh! You didn't hear what I say, 'cause you've been napping all day. This was a terrible song until I came along. Back into the high vocal chorus. Same thing happens every day. I can't think of nothing clever to say. Need to sit down and try to relax while Petey lays down his tracks. Ooh, your mind is racing so slow and you've got somewhere to go. You have to find someone somewhere who knows what to say. And right before the lead comes in, we return to the Petey Two Finger low octave voice. And I was enjoying that nap. Lead solo, coming out into another chorus. Ooh, my mind is racing so slow and I've got nowhere to go. Has to be someone somewhere who knows what to say. And then Petey returns, Adolf Nussler. I think I smell somebody's feet. This mix can't be beat. Adidas in heat. ha, ho, ha, 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 ha. And there you have it. Now, the Adolf Dassler, he's the guy who founded Adidas Corporation. So I threw that in there, like hopefully Baloo would hear that and it would stump him and he would look it up and then feel like that Petey had trumped him intellectually. Anyway, whatever happened, he probably heard Adolf, and I don't want to start dreaming up what went down in the listening and judging quarters. Like I said, I never should have been upset with Baloo. He's a human being. I said some things online, I critiqued his work, never thinking he would have read it. And later on, he came back and said, were you the guy that hated the sides? And I ended up feeling just terrible about it. He's got a song called Think, and it's about going online and trashing people. So I'm not going to say that I caused him to write that. I probably didn't have anything to do with it. I know that some people were trash talking him in a King Crimson thing, and I know that it hurt his feelings, and I know that that's a big symptom online. And I know that he doesn't take crap from people. And I applaud that and sincerely apologize for ever being negative about the guy. That's why this song never saw the light of day. Now enough times passed where I just wanted to share it, and talk about it. And obviously, whatever weird similarities are there with him using a creative choice to lower his voice, more than likely has nothing to do with anything I ever wrote. I'm sure it's all just coincidence and me putting a lot more weight into the fact that I gave him this disc at one point. I'm sure much more than likely the reality is that as soon as I turned around when he came close to any sort of waste receptacle, it ended up right in the garbage. And I don't blame him for that at all. So that was Happy Birthmark. Should we play it? You guys want to hear it after all of this? I hope you check out Introduction. I'll put together a lyric video for this so you can see the lyrics as the song goes along. But big, huge, warm hugs and nothing but double thumbs up, love and blessings, good karma and goodwill to Adrian Belew for his lifetime of making amazing music. People always talk about that he's a stunt guitar player. I see him in that light, but I also see him as like he's got like a gift, like his voice. The guy sings like an angel. And then you have his spirit, his sense of humor, his soul, how he writes. Like all the anti-animal cruelty and like kindness to others and like just good-natured stuff that his message comes down to. And his career is so unique and his music is reflected in that. So you get a whole package with this guy. And it's such a shame that I'm here talking about this and there's people that have never heard a lot of those songs. When they've heard him, people have heard Belew. They just don't know it because they hear him on Tom Tom Club. They hear him on David Bowie. They hear him on Talking Heads, Frank Zappa. So if you're not an Adrian Belew fan, you need to rectify that. Check out his pop-sided new album. Is as good a place as any to start. Anything from the midsection of his career, Mr. Music had Inner Revolution, Ops Op to Wah, the old stuff, Lone Rhino, my personal favorite Twang Bar King album. They're all, you can't pick a bad Adrian Belew album. They're all incredibly great. And definitely go see him live. He always has just a smoking show. All right, you guys. I always like to try to say good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this one. If you watch to the end, you're my people, and we're going somewhere. Hopefully that isn't crazy. So, yeah. Peace.